Hello and welcome everyone. So in this video, we will look at another front-end interview concept. So this time we will be looking at proxy design pattern in JavaScript. So proxy design pattern is especially helpful when you want to when you want to take the properties of an existing object, but also modify it in the sense you want to add some kind of middleware logic while accessing the properties of this object. Like you want to create some kind of logger information that whenever you access any property of this object, you log that information somewhere. Or you do some kind of validation that whenever you access, suppose you access add property of this object, so you also perform some kind of validation, whether the arguments are negative or not. If the arguments are negative, you skip it. If the arguments are positive, you perform the operation. So proxy is essentially helpful in these scenarios where you want to um, modify the accessing part of those properties, or modify the setting of certain properties. Like if there was another property that set the value of certain object, right? So there as well, what you can do is whenever you set the value of a certain property, you want to perform some validation there as well, or you want to log the information of setting the property there as well. So at that point also the proxy pattern actually helps, because proxy allows you to with the help of proxy, you do not directly access the calculator. You go over a proxy layer, and that proxy layer is responsible for governing what you get back as a response, right? So what we will do is we have a calculator object here, and calculator object has two properties, add and subtract, and these two properties are both functions. They take in two numbers and return the addition as well as subtraction. What we are going to do is we are going to create a logger pattern. Like whenever we access either add or either subtract, we log the information here on the console that, hey, we are calling add with arguments this, and the result is this. We are calling subtract with arguments this, and our result is this. So we'll be logging this information using our logging proxy and using proxy API. So let's try to code this up. What I'll do is I'll create a logging proxy API, and this proxy will target my calculator object. This proxy will target my calculator object. Now I'll just remove this thing. Um, yeah. So what this takes is what I'll do is I'll do a get function, and this function will take target as well as a property as its argument, and this target refers to the target that we have passed in our proxy API. So this target refers to calculator, and property refers to the property that we are accessing. So logging proxy dot add means target will be calculator and property will be add here. That we are accessing the add property of this logging proxy. Now what we will do is we will check if target property, if the type of target property is equal to function, then that means we are going to log to the console.log. Also, like instead of console.logging, what we'll do is I'll return a function with some with arguments. And why I'm returning a function? Because see, the type of this is a function, right? So essentially, I should return a function as well. Because what I'm doing is I'm trying to access the add property on the calculator, and add property is a function. So that's why I'm returning a function here as well. Now what I'll do is I'll console logs, and here I will do calling uh, calling property with arguments this. So calling property will be add with arguments is what you are passing. And I will now perform the result here. So the result will be target property and arguments. And now I will log the result as well. Console.log result will be this. And that is really it. Now, if it is not the target, if the type is not function, we will just return target property. No, this is really it. I'll just rerun this and refresh the page and see if it works. And we are getting the output as expected. We are getting calling add with arguments 5, 3, result is 8, and calling subtract with arguments 18, 10, 4, and the result is 6. So I wrote it wrong. Yeah. So this is like a very basic example of how what proxy pattern is and how will it be and how you can use it and why will it be useful for you. Similarly, like we were doing for get, you can also do for set as well. Like whenever you set the property, you can log the same thing or you can perform some kind of validation there as per need and requirement. So this was all for today. Hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next one.